Hey, this is Supreet and welcome back. So topic of the day is LINQ. LINQ is an acronym of language integrated query. So basically what it does is it helps in querying different kinds of data source. So you don't have to know various kind of data source language like SQL or XML or whatever it is. You just have to get the data from the data source and start querying and manipulate the data from your programming language itself. So here is a simple architecture provided by the Microsoft documentation. So here is the data source. Data is stored in the form of item 1, 2 till n. So you'll have to query and the query has a syntax keywords like from, where and select. So you'll have to loop through each of the items and you get the data, you do something, manipulate with the data and return each of the item, and then go back to the loop and then fetch the next item and try to manipulate the data till your last item is being processed. So this is how LINQ works, and let's see how to do it online. Visual Studio Interface. I'm just going to C# class over here. I'm just taking the SPS page, and this is my page load section. Let's try to flip again back to the particular class. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to create some objects and try to manipulate that particular objects. So I'm going to say weave code. All right. So I'll take some array, particular array, and insert some element into the array so that this will become your object and your data source for your LINQ queries. So I'm going to take an array called, declare an array called customer names, and initiate this array with specific names. Let's say I have some 3 particular customers. So I'll say Tom, Harry, or XYZ, whatever. Let's take some 3 names. So I have 3 customers, Tom, John, and Paul. I've initiated this particular array, and now this becomes our data source. And let's see, I have to manipulate or have to query this data source. We have various kind of LINQ options, like LINQ to SQL, LINQ to XML, LINQ to objects. Here we are referring to LINQ to objects. So I'll declare a variable where result, and so before that I'll have to declare one namespace, that is system.LINQ. All right, now we'll continue with the LINQ query. So we all know the execution flow of SQL, right? So it starts with from, and then where condition, and then finally the data source from where you are selecting the data. So similarly, I'll mention from A in customer names. So it is selecting the data from customer names, and I'll say select A. Let me run this particular. Oh, before that, I'm just selecting the result. Now I'll have to include a for loop so that the result gets displayed on my screen. So for each loop is very simple. I'll say okay, I'll say where an item in collection. Where is my collection? Collection is my array. I mean the result which I got from the processing of that particular array, and I'll say response.write so that result get displayed on the screen. So I'll say response.write of items. Let me execute this. Let me show this on the browser. So this should particularly loop through all the items in the array and process the link query from A in customer names. Select A, this is my link query, and produce the result. So what basically I'm doing is, let's say this customer names is in database. I don't have to write any SQL language programs or syntax. Everything can be manipulated in your programming language itself. Let's just wait till I get the result. So as I said, data source can be anything. Here it's an object. You can fetch the data from the database itself and start manipulating. Now look at the results. You saw the results, but the thing is, let me include some BR tags over here so that the result get displayed one below the other. Okay, I'm just including this BR tag inside response.write. Let me execute this. I think this will end up with an error because this is an MVC project, and inside an MVC project I'm running web forms, so the routing itself is wrong. So let's do one thing. Let's display it on the browser. I'll say view on the browser. This option should work. Alright, now you must see the result. Right, this is your result. So let's include a where condition. I'll just say where a.length is less than 4, because there are two elements which has length of 4 and there's one element which has length of 3, and this where condition should help you display the result called Tom. There's only one item which gets displayed. Let me see. So you can see how easy it is to use the where condition, the select condition, or whatever the query you have. Look at that result. So this is it, guys. Let me know if you have any query.